Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, the sounder reminds you, hey, pay attention. A good program is coming up. Yes, this is Interesting Ideas. My name is Stan Houston, and this is a difficult day. Obviously, those of us who watch the news and understand that the world is in a mess and war is very, very much everywhere, particularly in Ukraine today. So here's the problem. Usually, when I'm teaching people to be on the radio, I oftentimes say, hey, enjoy it as a playful performance. Enjoy it. Have fun. Make it interesting. Make it exciting. Make it engaging. Have fun. It's really hard to do that when the subjects are so disconcerting, discouraging, and in many cases almost despairing. But there is something I want to talk about briefly, and here's the title. And you saw it. Perhaps you wonder what it means. Okay. Burn your children's masks. That's right. Burn your children's masks. And then, indeed, pray for the children. That's what we're going to talk about today on Interesting Ideas. My name is Stan Houston. Thank you for joining me. Our program together begins right now. It was kind of discouraging. I just went to the gasoline station, and congratulate me. I now have done something that I have never done in my life. I paid over $4 for a gallon of gasoline. I've never done that before. Am I thrilled? Am I happy? Well, of course not. But that's the way it is right now. The world is a mess. And the reason it is because not of some natural catastrophes, which do happen, natural tragedies. These ones are all man-made. You see, the pandemic was not man-made, or maybe it was, but it had to be dealt with as it spread, and we tried to do a variety of things to make it work. And so we pressed on. Hopefully we are past the crust, the crest, or whatever else is on the edge, and we can begin to live life normally. And of course, many of us have declared we're going to do just that, no matter what. Every day we don't live normally, we are a day closer to being dead. And we need to live normally, faithfully, fruitfully, at our best, every day that we have that is left. At the gasoline station, I saw one young mother making sure that her two small children had their masks on. And hard for them to breathe. It's all over. We now know that that was not necessary. And it's not necessary now. And it probably was not necessary for the most part, even in the past. Someone said, trying to have a cloth mask stop a COVID virus is like a chain link fence trying to keep mosquitoes out. Noble intention, it just doesn't work. Here's what I would encourage you to think about doing. And I know it sounds a little bit outrageous, but I think it could be very effective. I've taken my mask and all the ones that I could find, and I've thrown them away. If I ever go to a place now where they say you have to wear a mask, I'm saying, okay, I won't walk into this place. I won't buy from this shop. I will go someplace else. Easy enough. Fair enough. On the other hand, I almost want to do this. As a mark of defiance, and maybe a mark of what oftentimes happens when you want to cleanse something, it's the fire. There's a part of me that wants to burn it. Just burn it. Not just throw it away. But symbolically, and maybe even more than that, just burn it. I do know now that if I still had small children around, and if I felt the way I do now, is I would take their masks away from them and say, this is not the way we're supposed to live. We're supposed to be able to run and jump and exercise, and because of that, we need to breathe well. It's very important. And we need to see each other. We need to smile at each other. Do you know how important it is to see people smile? Do you know how important it is for people to be able to really hear the sound of your voice? Not a voice that's muffled and distorted, but the pure sound of a human voice. We're sorry we made you do that. Wear those masks. I want you to know right now, we're going to burn it because we're not going to ever wear it again. We're not going to hide it away. We're not going to keep it just in case. We are going to burn it. And then do that. Then if they have any questions, answer their questions honestly, truthfully. Tell the truth, tell the truth, tell the truth. And then embrace them and say, I want you to know how much we love you and that we pray for you every day. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to thank God that we have been faithfully and blessed, and we are still alive, and we've gotten through the worst of this, and we're probably going to survive this. And so we're going to thank God for this. We're going to pray and thank God for this. And then we're going to pray for the families of those people who've lost friends and fathers, husbands and wives, the people, and everybody knows somebody, a family that has lost someone they loved because of this terrible disease. We're going to pray for them. And then you know what? Because this has been so hard on the children, we're going to pray for all the children that no one ever prays for. And then, in your own way, with a smile on your face, do that. And then have a treat of some kind. That's what I would suggest you do. Burn the masks and pray for your children. I'm Stan Houston. Just let that sit on your head for a while, and let me tell you more as we take a little break. And then we're back. I would love to hear your response to some of those things. Some of you are very angry with me. You're upset with me. That's fine. I can handle it. And I just have to be very honest with you. I really don't care. This is so clear to me, and God's will and word has been so clear to me, I won't even argue with you. But I'll listen to you. But I won't yell at you or get mad at you. I will just listen to you. And the most I will say is, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. And when you say something that deserves that comment, that's all you'll hear. That's not true. Now, hopefully a little more positive note. I have two small children. Yes, I have two small children, 45 and 50 years ago. I have a grandchild who is more than life itself for sure to me. And here's what I have discovered, both for me and for my children. There has been, as I look at the legacy of the Houston and the Johnson family, there has been a stream of grace from praying people. People that prayed. And they prayed for their children. And they prayed for their grandchildren. And if they had grandchildren, they prayed for them. And that just got passed on for probably at least as far as we know, a couple hundred years when they first began to make their expeditions from the Scandinavian and other worlds in Europe to America. They were praying people, and they prayed for their children. And what is true is that my children, who've had more than their fair share of great blessings, and of course also their fair share and maybe more of disappointments and things they didn't like, but they have been well sustained and they're doing well. And part of that is very simple. There has been a stream of grace flowing down from generation to generation to generation. And whether they appreciate it or even know it or not, their lives have been protected. They have been provided with many things simply because some stream of grace captured them, enveloped them, almost embedded itself in them, and was with them in the stream of life. I want you to think about that. And then here's what has really struck me for the past number of years. Think about that, and then think about all of the millions and millions and millions of children, no more precious in the sight of God than my children, and nobody prays for them. Nobody specifically takes their name or has them in mind and prays for them. Nobody prays for them, ever. And prayer is vital for good things to happen, for blessings to come. Now, God's grace may still, in incredible ways, still work for their lives. God loves the little children, all the little children of the world. But there probably is something special. And in fact, my own very sophisticated New York City daughter, who obviously went through her ups and downs and doubts, she did admit, after her grandmother died, that there was something. And she wasn't aware of it at that time. But now that she's gone, she said, I now know that I benefited from my grandmother's prayers. And I miss them, and I miss her. Well, we're continuing on. But all I want you to do is, first of all, reorganize your own priorities to make sure that you are praying for your children. But I also suggest that you join me, and I would love to start a worldwide movement, simply called this, Praying for Those Who Nobody Else Does. Yes, we're praying for all of the children of the world who do not have anybody else praying for them. I think that would be a way to start. It is true that in the last 2.5 years of COVID, we have done, in terms of lockdowns and masks and school things, we have done some very stupid and thoughtless things. And what we have done to our children is going to be something that we're going to discover in the years to come was even worse than we may have thought. And so we truly have to call down mercy and grace on the mistakes we have made with our children in the past few years. And then, as one says, enjoy your forgiveness, because God will forgive us if we ask. You know what? He'll forgive us even if we don't ask. So enjoy your forgiveness. But as my friend Corky Hahn always would say, Stan, keep praying. And I'd say, well, what should I pray for? And he'd smile and just say, keep praying. Keep praying. I'm Stan Houston. Keep praying. Pray without ceasing. What an interesting idea. Thank you for your 15 minutes. I hope it has been helpful and worthwhile. I believe that we can be helpful to you. We're actually going to be doing a podcast simply called More Power to You, and it's how to learn how to pray. How to learn how to pray with power. And hopefully you'll be a part of that and listen to that program too. And we've got many things that we can do to help you. We need to get you on the radio so that you can share your wisdom, insight, and truth with others. We have to help you become true creator makers. Creator makers. Not just managers or motivators or messengers or marketers, makers. God made you to make things. And we'll be talking about that too. So reach out to me at stanhouston@gmail.com, stanhouston@gmail.com. All the best and blessings to you. We're going to try and make this somewhat of a daily adventure. And so if we can, if we're blessed, we'll be back. Bye for now.